Let this video serve as a warning to you. If you live in an area where these new food stamps rules are about to go into effect, go ahead and prepare for some shortages on sugary snacks. You may experience shortages in your area on Debbie cakes, sodas, juice boxes, you name it. Anything sugary, candy, you might be experiencing shortages at your local grocery store. Because as you can see, last minute, a lot of people on food stamps have decided that right before the new rules go into effect, they're all going to go down to the local grocery store and they're going to spend every dollar of food stamps they have left on all of these items they're not going to be able to buy anymore. Now look, I would be lying if I pretended that I didn't eat any junk food myself. I mean, obviously, I eat a little bit of junk food. But it's never a priority in my household. Like, before I go spend money on junk food, I make sure that I have bread, eggs, milk, meat, stuff to actually put together a meal, fruits and vegetables. I get stuff that I actually need before I, start spending money on junk food. And the fact that these people are able to just jump up at a drop of a dime and go spend hundreds of dollars on Little Debbie cakes and soda, I think that tells us that these people don't really need food stamps. I mean, look, if you were worried about where your next meal was coming from, you're not going to the store to spend $200 on zebra cakes, folks. Only someone who is food secure, only someone who ain't worried about missing any meals is running down to the grocery store to spend hundreds of dollars on Debbie cakes, folks. Do you guys get what I'm saying here? Like, I've had hard times, and in my hardest of times, never did I think, oh, I hope I get some money up real quick so I can go buy some Debbie cakes. People who are going through hard times usually aren't going to take the last money they have to their name to go buy up a bunch of sweets at the grocery store. So the fact that there are so many people doing this, and look, the video that we saw, it's not the worst of it. I'll have more in the future for you guys to see. But the fact that people are just, oh, look, we're going to jump up and go spend hundreds of dollars on snacks now, I really feels like this goes to show that the people who are doing this, they don't need food stamps, because if they did, they wouldn't be doing stuff like this, if you ask me. But as these new rules are coming into effect, people are starting to notice. People are starting to notice something very interesting. The prices for most of these Debbie cakes and the chips and the sodas, the prices are all dropping drastically. In some cases, literally dropping $1 or $2 overnight since the rules came into effect. And this is crazy because we were told the exact opposite would happen. They tried to scare us for years, and they said, well, if, people aren't able to buy this stuff on food with their food stamps anymore, these companies are going to lose out on a lot of money, and then they're going to raise their prices and expect to make that extra money that they lost off of us, people without food stamps. The exact opposite is happening. And we'll get into more of that in just a moment. First, I have a clip that I want to show you guys. Before I roll this clip, though, do me a favor. Hit the like button, drop a comment, share the video. Those are 3 free, quick, and easy ways you can support the channel. If you want to take your support further, it is always greatly appreciated. You can donate Cash App or Super Thanks. But with that being said, let's roll this clip, and then I'll be right back with more.
Hey, what's up? So, I don't know about you, but I noticed that all these sodas have gone down in price. Look at this, $5, Big Red. You know why? Because now you can't buy sodas with food stamps. Ain't that a conspiracy theory? Damn, all the sodas are on sale or what? They just dropped the price and you can't buy them with food stamps now. Go to HEB, get your favorite soda. Bet you it's on sale.
So here's what we were told for years, folks. We were told for years that these companies make so much money off of people on food stamps that if the people on food stamps were no longer able to buy these products, these companies would be forced to raise their prices, like astronomically raise their prices. Because you see, soda companies like the PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, they make around $6 billion a year just from people on food stamps. That does not account for the money that they make from people who aren't on food stamps. That does not account for the money they make from their other companies that fall under them. Like, for example, PepsiCo owns Frito-Lay. So that doesn't account for the chip sales or the other sales that fall under their company. Just in sodas alone, from people on EBT, from people on food stamps, these companies are making around $6 billion a year. And we were told, hey, if people, can no longer buy this stuff on food stamps, the prices will be raised. But here's what was really happening, and I've talked about this before. These soda companies realized that they're making so much money from people on EBT, they no longer cared about catering to people who were not on EBT. They realized that they could raise their prices to these crazy prices, even though it would be too much to afford for normal Americans not on EBT. They knew they would make that money. They knew they would make the difference from people on EBT alone. Because people on EBT, they're going to buy the case of soda if it's $6 or if it's $12. If it's $18 or it's $10, they're not worried about pinching pennies or cutting corners. They're going to buy it because the money is free. It magically appears in their account every week or every month. So for years, they said, screw everyone else not on food stamps. We're going to make our billions of dollars off of the people on food stamps. And we're going to charge double or triple the price that we really should. So that's what they were doing and getting away with for years while trying to scare us people who weren't on food stamps that, oh boy, if the EBT people can't buy this stuff anymore, you're going to have to pay crazy prices. Well, the new EBT rules came into effect. People can no longer buy the chips and the soda. So now these companies are losing out on billions upon billions of dollars. And guess what they're doing? They're not raising their prices because they knew when the EBT money was flowing, they knew that regular Americans that weren't on EBT weren't able to afford their products anymore, for the most part. Okay? So now they've been forced not to raise prices. They're forced to drop prices because people who aren't on food stamps, most of them don't want to pay that price for a case of soda. They don't want to pay that price for a bottle of Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Mountain Dew or what have you. So this whole time we're told they would raise prices. In reality, they're dropping prices. They're dropping prices. Their whole entire business model has changed because they know people who aren't on food stamps aren't paying those prices. They never were. So now they're having to bring down prices that will be affordable to people who aren't on food stamps, who actually check out the price tag, who actually sometimes have to make decisions in the grocery store. Do I buy this pack of Coca-Cola, or do I get the Walmart brand or the or the Kroger brand or the insert grocery store name here brand that's a little bit cheaper? People are having to go for cheaper options because they can't afford a lot of these companies that were raking in billions of dollars off of the EBT folks. So this whole time we were sold a lie. Because immediately, folks, like overnight, the new EBT rules come in and Pepsi Company, Coca-Cola, they all start panicking because their businesses have already been in collapse. They've been trying to make whatever money they can off the food stamps people, but they've been screwing themselves over in the process as well. Now all of that food stamps money is gone. And the regular customers they lost out on by raising their prices so high, A lot of them might not be coming back, but they're going to desperately try to get them back. And a lot of these companies, they've lost shelf space at the grocery store because cheaper brands have come in and they've claimed that shelf space because Americans who weren't on EBT were buying the cheaper brands. So this EBT situation, the changes in the food stamps rules, it is having the exact opposite effect of what they told us. They tried to scare us for years. We said, screw y'all. The new rules got implemented, and immediately you can go to your grocery store and you're going to notice, wow, the soda's a little bit cheaper today. The chips are a little bit cheaper. All of the stuff that people can no longer buy with food stamps, all of a sudden, the prices are lowered all around the board to be more affordable for people who don't get food stamps. Because now they're like, not only did they lose all of that food stamps money, now all of those people who used to not care, they just swipe their food stamps card because they don't care about the price. Now they care about the price. Now those same people who didn't mind spending $18 for a case of Coca-Cola on their food stamps card, they're not spending $18 in cash. You lost that customer. They're going to go buy the generic brands with the other Americans who don't get food stamps, who have had to buy generic brands for a while because unfortunately they had to pay for food stamps people to live a better life than they did. So the food stamps customers are gone. The food stamps money is gone. And the people who are on food stamps, they're going to start looking at the prices now, and these companies realize it, and they're panicking, and they're dropping their prices all around the board. But it may be a little too late. I don't know if these companies will ever fully recover from this. But then again, Americans love their chips, they love their snacks, they love their soda. So I don't think these companies are necessarily going anywhere. But I'm hoping, I could say I hope they've learned their lesson, but I don't think they have. But it's nice to see that they've been affected. It's nice to see them losing tons of money. And it's nice to see these prices coming down, which is what we needed to happen. And it goes to show that we cannot allow these people to scare us in the future. They tried to scare us for years. Well, if you cut off the food stamps, if you do this, all of this is going to happen. Oh my God, oh the humanity. Oh my God, it's so bad that Coca-Cola is $2 or $3 cheaper now. It's so bad that Doritos have dropped $3 in price since the food stamps rules have changed. No, I think this is good for everyday average Americans who have to work for a living, who have to work to put food on their table. But I want to go ahead and hear from you guys, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.